See, I'm typing with my agenda. I create a publicidad. Y, ¿cómo se diría? Impresa y en redes sociales. Impresa,
Social
¿cómo
media.
sería?
Printed.
Printed and so. Okay, printed and social media too. And that's all. I think I'm organized person because it's a difficult job.
Community manager. That's great, Sergio. Great experience. Let's see who is next. Who's next? Patsy. Tell me about your last job experience, girl.
Okay, sure. For the last 5 years, I have been work at a restaurant. I began as a waitress, so I have had to deal with all kind of people. Learn how to talk with them. So I developed different responsibilities. And I was in charge of different places. My last place was supervising the restaurant. So I learned how to plan, to lead, to guide, and to take decisions.
That's great. That's great, Patsy. So remember that not all of us had a job experience in business or in a call center, right? So what we need to do is talk about our last experience at school or any part-time job. Like Patsy said, she was a waitress and she learned how to deal with different people. So this skill is helpful for a call center environment, for example, or for a team lead environment, because you need to deal with a lot of people, believe me, and it's not easy. Like here in Fumbal, for example, I lead with you, but you are nice, right? You are kind of funny sometimes, but you are very nice. But out there, we find a lot of people with not the same culture, not the same beliefs, right? And we respect that, but we need to learn how to deal with that because it's not easy. If you want to grow in the company, this is a skill that your superiors will see in you. How can you handle these difficult people? Not always difficult, but these people with different beliefs and different skills, different talents. That's great. That's great. So let's see who's next. Let's see, Martin, please tell me about your last job experience.
Okay. I have had a good experience working with young people every time, and I know how it is to work with them, whose needs are different, and I know how to support them. But the best experience I had is teaching them to make good decisions. And also, I'm good at teaching and driving cars.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Thank you, Martin. That's beautiful, helping young people. Let's see, who's next? Luis.
Okay. Well, in my last job, I had worked as a ATM technical support, fixing problems with the ATM. ATM is cajero automático. I have experience installing internal networks, giving online support, um, helping to find problems with any device, or the connection with the server using a specialized software. I don't know how to say especializado, specialized,
Specialized.
specialized software. And I have had experience as a supervisor. I have I have had in my charge for technician covering all the south zone from Veracruz. Also, I have learned graphic design, so I have the knowledge to make a corporate image with flyers, cards, banners, publicity, and so on. It's all.
Okay, thank you, Luis. Very good. Let's go with Michelle and then with Alison. They raised their hands.
Okay, I have worked in A and all fragrance. They learn about products to make sense and how to make them. Later, I've been a volunteering role model that improved the lives of the people for 20 for 18 months, and that teach me to responsible, passionate, honest people person. It's very important the empathy. Also learn it about how meeting new people.
Okay, remember that you are passionate, but you can have passion for something. Okay, I am passionate? No, I am passionate. You got it, Michelle. Thank you. So, Alison, you raise your hand.
Yes. For 9 years, I have been a software programming technician where I have had the opportunity to work as an administrative assistant in export for 3 years in Inca Industries. This position helped me develop a skill in different computer programs, and I also learned to work in a team. So I have experience in making clothes. I work in this for 5 years in recognized factories. This job also helped me develop skills such as working on time, being more agile, and being perfectionist in things I do daily. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alison. Let's go with Alison, Misael, and the last one will be Diane. Sara.
I have my experience for last job. Okay, I formulé como un diálogo, pequeño diálogo. Okay, dice, hello, nice to meet you. I am Sara. Hello, nice to meet you, Sara. I am Carlos. Sit down, please. Okay, tell me about your experience for last job. Okay, my experience was working is in a school uniform store. My experience was with numbers, size, customer service, requirement boss. The first time I was slow, but I liked my job So I changed my towel. So I experienced in okay, aquí me equivoco. In the job. Okay. Is all, teacher.
Okay, great, Sarah. Thank you so much. Let's go, Misael.
Thank you, teacher. I worked as a manager. I had a successful groups, and I spent 7 years in leader groups. I learned about different types of credits. I had the opportunity to share my experience with my coworker. I worked in the USA in a restaurant as a waiter, and I had the opportunity to serve and talk with the native people
Native.
and give them a good service. Is native or native?
Native.
Native. Yeah. Thank you,
Excellent.
teacher.
Great job, Misael. I know that waiters in United States, you have very nice tips sometimes.
Yes.
That's great. Great, Misael. Thank you so
Sorry,
much. Let's go
what
with
is
the
native, teacher?
native es nativo.
Ah, okay.
A native speaker, un hablante nativo. Entonces, vamos a escuchar a Dayan y por último a William para continuar con el próximo topic, ¿ok? Let's go, Dayan,
Okay.
from Guanacaste.
Okay, I had worked in the agency of Claro. I had worked as a lead agent for fans by
Agent, agent.
agent, agent.
Oh, agent, okay, okay.
Sorry. This position really developed my customer service skills. I was constantly assisting customer in the store and their homes. It also gives me the ability to work in team environment. Also, I had worked in this dance for 2 years ago. I have learned about gastroenterology. I was assistant doctor about gastroscopy and colonoscopy separate for 5 months.
Oh my goodness, that's interesting. Okay, thank you, Dayan. Let's go, Willie.
Thank you, teacher. In my first job, I have worked teaching in the school. I teaching arts plastic and communication and language. I have 125 students. I was in charge of technology in the school. I have 11 years of experience teaching. In my second job, I am technician. I have implemented the use of a web server with Windows Server 2012, and I was implement in other areas. I have 10 years of experience with computer technician.
Thank you, Willie. So you want to say I taught arts or plastic arts?
Okay, thank you.
That's great. That's great. So, thank you guys for your participation. You have any questions so far about this topic? Tell me about your last job experience. Willie. No questions?
No, estaba bajando la mano, sorry.
Okay. So let's continue. This topic is very interesting and very simple. Now that we learned about past tense and present perfect tense, we will learn about sequence connectors. Sequence connectors. And between sequence connectors, we have the following list. We have the following list here. We have first, second, third, then, next after, later, finally, and some other useful connectors are, first of all, to begin, at last, in addition, lastly, my favorite, last but not least, por último, pero no menos importante, last but not least, and at the end. So these sequence connectors help us to the following. We can tell stories about our life, stories, tell about personal experiences, to retell stories, it helps us to tell important information about something. In Spanish, we call them conectores. Conectores. So if we want to tell a story and help this story to be more meaningful, right? To sound more native, we use sequence connectors. Can we take a screenshot of that and share it in the group, please, Mrs. Antunes? ¿Qué significa lastly? Finalmente. At the end, al final. In addition, además, pero en un contexto diferente. Esto es en un contexto de una historia. No es lo mismo que yo diga, oh, you play soccer, I play too. You drink water, I drink too. En esto, too es en un contexto de comparación. ¿Entienden la diferencia? Uno es comparando algo Y este es para contar historias, relatos, datos.
¿Y profe tiene alguna estructura como que siempre tienen que ir al inicio o pueden como a la mitad o como algunos al final y así o
Good question.
alguna?
It depends of the sequence connector. For example, first, always go first. I will tell you my experience. First, I was walking in the street. And second, I saw a bookstore. Third, I walked to the bookstore. Then, next after, van siempre en medio de la historia. En una oración, mayormente van de primero, en una oración. Porque cuando yo uso, por ejemplo, then, después va a decir lo que pasó. Next after, y después voy a contar lo que pasó. Entonces, la mayoría de veces van como al principio de una oración, solo de una. Pero si estoy hablando de una historia, ahí va a depender de cómo vaya la historia. Para contar el final de una historia, usamos later, finally. Later es como después. Finally, lastly significa lo mismo, finalmente. At last, al final. So, Sarah is not here. Amarilis, can you take the screenshot and share it in the group, please? Amarilis, Amarilis. Thank you so much. For example, if I am telling a story about an issue of a customer, I can say, for example, first of all, what happened was that your computer was not working. In addition, you told me, Mr. Customer, that you have tried to fix it by yourself. And at the end, the computer didn't work. Is that right? Aquí yo estoy retelling a story. Y en una llamada esto se le llama reassurance. ¿Se acuerdan cuando hicimos el ejercicio de empathy statements? Hicimos reassurance. Reassurance es hacer de entender al cliente que yo comprendí el problema con mis propias palabras. Sequence connectors, I can use it in every scenario, call center, real life, with a friend, retelling a story, etc. Questions about sequence connectors? Sequence connectors. Okay, then. So I have for you 3 videos. 3 videos. what you are going to do. You will watch the video with your group, and then each of you will write a little story using sequence connectors. What I mean is that as a group, you will create one story, but each of you need to collaborate with a paragraph. ¿Sí? Todos tienen que colaborar con la historia, por lo menos un parrafito, una línea cada uno. Una historia por cada video. Son 3 videos. Here you have the links in the Zoom chat. Number 1. Number 2. And number 3. Basically, you will retell the story, right? Write in a paragraph, but the difference is that you will use sequence connectors. You will use sequence connectors. Thank you, Frank, for sharing it in the group. Thank you, Marilis, for sharing the screenshot.
Teacher, the activity is individual or in group?
In groups. In groups. As a group, you will create one story, but each of you need to collaborate with a sentence. Todos tienen que colaborar con un parrafito o con una frase para la historia del grupo, ¿sí? Todos tienen que colaborar. Y la tarea es escribir una historia basada en el video. ¿Usando qué, Teacher Alan? Usando sequence connectors. ¿Y cuáles son esos sequence connectors? Sequence connectors son first, second, third, then, next after, later, finally. First of all, to begin, at last, in addition, lastly, last but not least, and at the end.